The incessant building collapse is a function of lack of proper implementation of policy and not a result of lack of policy. This is according to a fellow member of Nigerian Institute of Building, Adelaja Adekombi. According to Adekombi, the Lagos Building Control Agency requires total overhauling, having failed in its oversight functions and responsibility. Adekombi was speaking on Business Breakfast earlier in the day.
But the training I'm talking about is for that particular agency, Lagos State Building Control Agency. It needs serious overhauling. The ministry, the agency needs to know the purpose, the document they hold. They have to sit down and analyze those documents and also know their limitation. That ministry, that agency need to be worked on. They should not be, and government should also take this as a measure that if we want control in Lagos and we don't want this thing to happen again, they need to leave the agency to operate. If we are not careful, we will just continue to talk and talk and talk.
It must be dealt with from the top.
Government must make up their mind. Are we willing to allow this regulation to work? Are we ready to allow it to work? We don't want to see more of this again. Let us sit down together. Let us also not put money in front of the agency. Why they will be running after money instead of them doing the control.
And away from there now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has disclosed that the volume of counterfeit currency in circulation declined from 84,934 pieces in 2019 to 67,000 pieces of fake notes in 2020, indicating a 20.80% decrease. This was revealed in the Currency Operations 2020 annual report released by the Apex Bank. The report suggests that the higher denomination notes like the 1,000 naira and 500 naira form the bulk of the counterfeited banknotes, putting them at 69.9% and 30.79% respectively of the total counterfeited note. Meanwhile, the CBN also noted that it is partnering with the various security agencies to sustain effort aimed at limiting incidents of counterfeiting and maintaining the integrity of the banknotes in circulation. And in the meantime, Nigeria's credit to the private sector skyrocketed to an all-time high of 33.8 trillion naira as of September 2021. This is according to data from the central bank's money and credit statistics. The country's private sector witnessed an increase in borrowing in recent years due to a combination of central bank monetary policies, innovation in technology and credit profiling, as well as a rise in fintech companies participating in the lending space. In 2021, the private sector recorded a net increase of 3.69 trillion naira in net borrowings. Over the last 5 years, credit to the private sector has risen by over 100%, growing from 18.7 trillion naira in December 2015 and nearly doubling to 32.6 trillion naira in 2021. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria has fixed 5 billion naira as the maximum loan amount that a participant can gain access to in a newly introduced initiative called the 100 for 100 PPP Policy on Production and Productivity Policy. The CBN stated these in its guidelines for the implementation of the initiative, which was released the weekend. The Apex Bank further said that the initiative will select 100 private sector companies with projects that have the potential to enhance local production and productivity and also improve the generating capacity of the Nigerian economy. Nigerian importers and exporters have decried the 9 million naira duty per truck imposed by Benin Republic Customs on transit goods passing through the country's corridor. According to the report, the situation forced some shippers to pay more to reroute the goods via Togo port to Nigeria following the government to Republic of Benin decision to stop all Nigeria-bound trucks laden with transit goods coming from Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Togo. However, shippers described the situation to be a revenge measure over Nigeria's closure of its borders in 2019, which lasted for more than 1 year. According to the chairman of the Association of Nigeria Licensed Customs Agents, Seme Border Chapter, Bishiriyu Fano, some people have to ship from Togo port because of the Beninese customs are demanding be close to that amount to ransom, while importers are going through Togo or Ghana instead of crossing through a Lakoji border because of that demand. And on the African scene now, the Kenya Revenue Authority KRA is once again under pressure from Nairobi MCAs to disclose details of the revenue collected in the county in the past 19 months. Deputy Minority Whip Moses Ogeto wants the taxman compelled by the Country Assembly to make public a total monthly revenue collection, including bank statement for the period commencing March 2020. In the financial year ended June 30, 2020, City Hall realized about 8.52 billion shillings owned SOX revenue, representing a drop of more than 1.5 billion shillings from the 10.17 billion shillings in the last 1 year. The Kenya Revenue Authority was in March 2020 appointed as the principal revenue collector agent for the county government in line with the deed of transfer the previous month. Some Nairobi MCAs in June this year faulted the taxman for failing to expand the city county's revenue since taking over as the principal revenue collector. And while in the last financial year ended June 30, 2021, the collection improved to 9.94 billion shillings. And on the international scene now, oil prices rose on Monday on the back of positive signs for global economic growth, supporting energy demand, while Saudi Arabia's state-owned producer Aramco raised the official selling price for its crude. Brent crude was up by 84 cents, or about 1%, at $83.58 a barrel after dropping nearly 2% last week. U.S. oil gained 95 cents, or about 1.2%, to $82.22 a barrel, having declined almost 3% through Friday. President Joe Biden on Saturday welcomed congressional passage of a long-delayed $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which may boost growth and demand for fuels. China's export growth slowed in October but beat forecast, buoyed by rising global demand ahead of winter holiday seasons and improvement in coronavirus hit supply chains.